this might be a tough decision right now.
My team
but
did
I'm not just
absolutely garbage.
NFL games that were like,
Right.
whoa. I actually don't
Had
know.
a lot of mixed feelings.
Welcome, Disgruntled. We have another guest here on the League of the Wings.
Oh shit. You can do the intro this time.
What if I don't want to do the intro this time? What if I
Please
want-
do.
What?
To switch it up. I did it last time.
So, good morning, guys. 15 minutes until noon, and I'm drinking a lemonade, and Titus is drinking a coffee. Obviously, the mature one here. I'm just joking.
What?
But this is a special episode. You want to know why this is a special episode for us?
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was.
It's our 2-year anniversary of League of the Wings podcast. This is the 100th.
Actually?
Yeah.
No way.
This is the 104th episode, and there's 52 weeks in a year, so 52 plus 52 is 104. So this is been doing it 2 years. I haven't missed a week ever, not even once. I didn't even have to delay it once in these 2 years.
Yeah, never once delayed.
Never ever once delayed. But so yeah, this is the 104th episode, and we're going to be doing some reviewing. Forget what the topic of this.
Alright,
I was trying to stall until I scrolled up to what you were saying about.
We have 3 things we're gonna talk about. Basically like 3 sections or chapters. If Caleb ever does chapters in his podcast, I don't know if he does that.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
It could be beneficial. Maybe. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about number 1, the 53-man rosters that are now official across the league. Everyone had to have gone down to 53, so there's some trades that happened. There were some cuts that happened. Some surprising, some not so surprising. But we will go through the ones that we found the most interesting or most interesting to us. That is, because we may have some bias about certain ones. And then in section 2, we'll talk about who we think, now that we have the 53-man rosters, who we think will end up getting the awards at the end of the year. Because now it's go time. Now it's the regular season. Now it's time for people to perform. So who's going to get the awards? The awards being MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year. We're going to give you our main picks and predictions for that, and then our sleeper picks and our alternative predictions, the stretch predictions, as you may want to call it. And then after that, we'll go over our predictions for team records. We basically predicted the record of every single team, and we're going to go over which ones we don't feel as confident with anymore, because we predicted this back in like May maybe or June. I don't remember. It was like post-draft.
It was a while ago.
But things have developed since then, so we got to, change it up a little. That's the vibe.
I'm just so confident with mine that I'm not going to change any of mine. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. That was a joke. Yeah, we can skip a couple of the people who got released. Some of them aren't like too bothered by all means. Where do you want to start off? Which one do you want to start off? God.
Wait, who's this? Who's this?
I guess we can start here. No, we don't have to go over it. Yeah, we can skip this category actually. But
I think you should move your mic a little closer.
But the biggest problem with the Eagles that I have right now is their only flaw is that they didn't keep Devon Allen. Don't worry. It's fine. I'll get over it eventually. It's okay. When you brought that up, I'm like, oh crap, cuts did just happen, and I'm like, I frantically looked up Devon Allen.
Let me guess, did he get cut?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Fucking shout out to Trey. He's actually one of our friends that does watch these podcasts more often than not.
He does?
But we also, yeah, he does.
Oh.
Sometimes he complains about what we say about the Broncos, for example, his favorite team.
Broncos suck.
I had a conversation with him, and he said Devon Allen is going to be a superstar in this league. The 2-time Olympian, is that what he is? He's like the world champion of hurdles. I don't know what length of hurdles, but hurdles. And I told Trey, you think he's going to be a superstar in this league? I don't even think he's going to make his own team. I I really felt that way. I was like, just looking at the depth chart, I'm like, yeah, he looks fast. But there's a lot of guys that are fast that, if they can't do the special team stuff, then it doesn't even matter because they're not going to really make it to the field to play wide receiver much. It's all about can you do the special team stuff. So, yeah, maybe he had some flashy plays at wide receiver during the preseason, but I didn't see much of him from a special team standpoint, which is what all of these depth players need to have. That's why Philip Lindsay, a former Colts running back for this offseason, he was brought in as the running back RB3, basically, behind Nyheim Hines and Jonathan Taylor. But he got cut. Everyone was very surprised, like, what the fuck? We thought Philip Lindsay was pretty good this offseason. And he's like, yes, and his snaps in the preseason at running back, but we can't have an RB3 that's not playing special teams. And Deion Jackson, apparently, so in the minds of the Colts front office, they felt like Deion Jackson, the current RB3 now after the 53-man roster, was better as special teams since Philip Lindsay really hasn't done much as a veteran this late in his career. So yeah, that's how I felt about Devon Allen. And then Trey was like, nah, he'll make the team. It might take him a while before he like really starts to shine, but I was like,
I hope the Eagles at least sign him to practice squad. Like he's definitely at least a practice squad player, Maybe like it's kind of like a Travis Fulgham case, He was a practice squad player and he came out of nowhere and we had to use him and he was good for 4 games. Hopefully that's the case, but he lasts longer than just 4 games and hopefully there's still hope. But right now he doesn't even have a team, so that's the
that was so sad.
The Eagles went up to like from a A+ in free agency to maybe like to an A to that. Sometimes you can't have it all. And the Eagles definitely have it all this free agency.
Could have had it all.
Could have had it all.
Deep.
But we could have it all if we sign him to the practice squad. Then we would have it all. But
Here, let's look up an article or something. Notable cuts in the NFL. I know another one was Marlon Mack, a former Colts running back who ran for 1,000 yards, but then was usurped. I don't know if that's the appropriate word to say, actually. Usurped? Is that right?
I don't know if it's right, but it sounds pretty.
By Jonathan Taylor, basically. He came in his rookie season. Marlon Mack got injured game 1. Jonathan Taylor took off from there with the help of Nyheim Hines as well when Jonathan Taylor wasn't at his best in his rookie season, I guess. Then we got to the second season. They brought back Marlon Mack because they're like, oh, we're not going to be the type of team that only runs one running back. We're going to be the type of team that has like a bunch of running backs all doing really well. And then Jonathan Taylor ran for like 1,800 yards. And it was all like, fuck. And you want to know why? It's because Carson Wentz was ass. So we couldn't afford to have our fucking 3-man rotation. We had to keep running with Jonathan Taylor. Quentin Nelson was even like, bro, we got to run the ball more. This is not working.
Because fuck Carson Wentz. I don't even know why he's behind me right now, honestly.
I think it's just funny.
Yeah. You were wrong. He had 18,011 yards. You're supposed to keep it exactly correct.
I was 11 off and you fucking searched it up just to tell me I was 11 yards off.
No, I just searched it up because I wanted to see his like stats because like he had a crazy year last year. I just wanted to see his full stats. Like he had like 18 touchdowns, like 40 receptions, 360 yards, like I just wanted to see his other stats from the year as well.
His all-purpose yardage, like people will always be like, "Oh, Derrick Henry had a better year because he had 2,000 rushing yards. Jonathan Taylor didn't." But it's like yards are yards, however you get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sure, Derrick Henry, and also Derrick Henry had way more carries in his 2020 season. But I won't get into the JT Derrick Henry debate because in the AFC South, that is just as like divisive as Michael Jordan versus LeBron for the GOAT debate. I swear, it comes up everywhere. You can't escape it. As soon as one Titans fan and one Colts fan are in the same like Twitter thread, all shit goes to hell. It's like if you ever go on Twitter, literally any post, you'll probably find someone saying like LeBron better, and then someone like, well, he didn't win a bunch of three-peats, blah, 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 and then it goes on from there. And the original post may have been like, Shaquille O'Neal just ordered a slice of pizza, and then someone will do that. You know what I mean? Like it's always getting brought up. I won't dig into it very deeply here.
Last thing I will say, I am a Jonathan Taylor fan and stand all the way. But I personally think Jonathan Taylor had a more impressive season than Derrick Henry did.
Oh yeah, I am a Derrick Henry fan, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't like the Titans, but I can't help but love Derrick Henry and respect him mainly.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's still not It's still very impressive that Derrick Henry got to 2,000 yards, but Jonathan Taylor, if he got in more rushes, he would have easily gotten over 2,000 yards because he had 332 attempts. Derrick Henry had 378 attempts. They both averaged the same amount of yards. It's just that Jonathan Taylor just did more with receiving last year. Or I mean, Jonathan Taylor was given the ball more receiving wise than Derrick Henry, so Jonathan Taylor made up for it.
Yeah, and also like
Yeah, it was still like the same production. It's just that Jonathan Taylor did more production in receiving than Derrick Henry did, and vice versa.
but if you look at the averages,
Yeah.
look at him.
9 average for Jonathan Taylor and 6 average for Derrick Henry for receiving, and 5.5 for Jonathan Taylor for rushing, and 5.4 for Derrick Henry for rushing. So it's not off. So it's basically the same thing.
Basically, Jonathan Taylor was given the ball as much as Derrick Henry was.
Yeah, it's just that he did it through the air more, not through the air, catching the ball through the air. I don't know how to preface that without Jonathan Taylor did more. Jonathan Taylor did more receiving than Derrick Henry did. Is what I'm trying to say, but I think it's the same production, nonetheless. That was a long-winded response.
I literally said we're not gonna get into it, and then Caleb looks up the stats and he's like, "Let's compare."
Bro, because I don't know why everyone's on Derrick Henry's dick. No, I'm just joking.
No, I understand why.
Yeah.
Like, they're the two best backs in the league. I think people have a reason to believe Chubb is also up there because he has the best efficiency other than those two guys. He might even have better. I don't know, but it's because Hunt is in the fucking running back room, so Chubb can't get unleashed. But who knows? He also gets injured with his limited stats, so who's to say? Biggest surprises, says NFL.com. The number one biggest. Did you burp into the mic?
Yeah.
While I was talking, I can't even edit that out. You dumb fuck. I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna restart this sentence now, and I'm gonna mute that part so you can't even use it.
I'll still
Fuck
use
you.
it. It'll just be like a muted spot in the podcast.
That's so weird. Why?
Because we have, as a society, need to normalize.
No.
Why not? I don't understand. I think we just need to normalize
I
burps.
hate it. We can normalize it, but don't like into the mic. What the fuck? This guy. All right. Biggest surprises, says NFL.com. Number one listed has to do with the Eagles. And it's not about Devon Allen. It's about the trade of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. For those of you who don't know, this is a guy who was on the all-rookie first team. Obviously in his first year. I don't know why I had to explain that. And he was also the guy who got punched on the field.
Oh, sure. This happened well after the play. I mean, it's over. The play's over. Whoa. I don't even know what that was about. Well, they'll look at that.
And then was shocked and looked at the dude that punched him and was like, "What? Why'd you do that?" And then he started getting punched even more. Do you know the video I'm talking about?
I think so. Wait, he was punching him. I forget.
So there's this receiver. I forget what team he's on, but he wasn't even being covered by Gardner-Johnson. But after a play, he ran over to Gardner-Johnson, tapped him on the chest or something.
Oh, wait.
Gardner-Johnson looks over and he gets punched. And then Gardner-Johnson's like, "What the fuck?" He's over at the refs and he just keeps getting punched. And all his teammates start swarming. It's one of the greatest NFL videos ever.
I'm going to definitely put that into
And
the
apparently
podcast.
the history there is because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson tugged on his chain the play before or something like that, which I always wondered, like, do players wear jewelry when they're playing? And the answer apparently is yes. Someone was wearing a chain. Yeah, Devon Wims of is that the Bears or the Broncos?
Bears.
Bears. They have similar colors.
Same thing.
Yeah. So yeah, this guy is now on the Eagles because the Saints didn't want to extend him or couldn't agree to terms on an extension. I don't know what the exact details in that front office were, but they said, fuck it, let's trade him. And the Saints essentially received nothing in return, says one of the NFL.com writers. They got a 2023 fifth and a 2024 6th round pick, but then they also gave the Eagles a 7th rounder at the same time. So,
dude, we got him for a
it's like
steal.
pocket change, basically.
I'm sorry. I'm just, dude. Why? I don't just.
It's hilarious.
Just show me the regular video. I don't want an edited version of this, bro. I just want the full thing.
Oh yeah, I hate that when the edited videos show up first. And it's
Yeah.
like, fuck you. All right.
But yeah, but we got him for the steal. I'm doing a couple more Eagles updates. So I'm going to go more in depth into it. But I was texting him yesterday. I'm like, is this guy any good? And he was like, seems pretty good. He was all rookie, and everyone.
He seems decent. I can't say like he'll be the hero the Eagles need. Not that they really need one in the backfield anyways. They have a lot of good guys back there.
We have a lot of cornerback issues.
But it seems like a good replacement for the guy that is now on the Colts. Right?
Yeah.
Your old safety is now on the Colts, I'm pretty sure. And he's not even starting. Get fucked. Your Eagles safety suck.
Bro, I like opened up to you. I'm like, he's my favorite player and he got traded. You're like, he sucks. Like, bro, I wasn't even like saying that he was like the best or anything.
No, I don't know if he's good or not. I just think it's really funny that it's one of Caleb's favorite players and then he's not even starting on the Colts.
Bro, like, why are you so mean to me, bro? I literally said he's one of my favorite players because he helped the Super Bowl team win.
No, and he's not cool, man. So did Nick Foles, and he might be quarterback 3 behind Sam.
Yeah, like, I don't care.
All the Eagles suck.
I don't care how good they are, bro. You're just coming at me for no reason.
I'm not coming at you. I'm just bringing entertainment to the podcast. It's more so for the podcast than at you, all right?
I'm just getting more entertainment about the guy getting punched.
He's still watching the video, by the way. I've moved on to a different topic.
It's still kind of the same topic. Damn, the player like jumped on him and stuff. Dang. That's weird. It took me a while. He took out his mouthpiece and then started to punch him.
Alright, I hope you overlay the video so the whole podcast isn't just you laughing at a video that doesn't make an appearance.
It just doesn't even exist.
Another big headline that I actually found very interesting for fantasy reasons. I have Trey Lance on my team. And Jimmy Garoppolo did not get traded at the deadline. Well, not the trade deadline, but the 53-man roster thing. Instead, he actually got his contract restructured so that he now has a no trade clause. Which doesn't, I know how that sounds. It doesn't mean he can't get traded. It only means that he has to be involved in the discussions if they want to trade him. So basically, they're trying to help him find a new team that he would also appreciate going to. Why are you watching that? It has nothing to do. It's a great.
Sorry, I got distracted. Because I got a copyright thing, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it was like a new copyright matches found and review videos that may be using your content. And I was like, "Oh, he's using my content." And okay, this doesn't matter. Yeah, I love the no trade clause because it helps the team and the player out both.
Yeah, I do like a no trade clause, except when it's like for Deshaun Watson and he gets a fully guaranteed contract and all that bullshit. But otherwise, yeah, I love that the players now have the opportunity to negotiate that sort of thing because, I mean, these are their livelihoods and they're just getting shipped all over a lot of the time. You know, fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick, for example.
I'm on the one QB that we had. The Eagles had it was okay, that doesn't even matter anymore. But he also got shipped around too.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people have been giving a lot of different opinions on what this means for Trey Lance and the 49ers as a whole. So a lot of people are saying like, oh shit, this is a higher chance that Trey Lance could get benched for Jimmy Garoppolo if he doesn't do well the first couple of weeks or even into like the midseason. And then other people are like, no, this is actually a better chance that Garoppolo could get traded. They just want to make sure it's on good terms with Garoppolo. Trey Lance went ahead and told a reporter, I actually enjoyed this. I like Garoppolo. He was very nice to me my first year. I hope I can return like that kindness, basically. And then a lot of people were like, bullshit. He doesn't actually mean that. So say what you will. It seems to me like this is the best for the 49ers because depending on how Trey Lance does, you're going to have a decent option no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
If Trey Lance does well, then you also are managing to be able to pull off a decent trade with your quarterback, with your second quarterback, that is, to a team that might have some quarterback issues. Like, for example, right now the Cowboys only have one quarterback on the roster. What happens to Dak Prescott if he gets injured?
Actually, they only have one quarterback.
They only have one quarterback right
Really?
now. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Cooper Rush was cut. That's another headline. So that could be something that comes up. Maybe they trade Jimmy Garoppolo there. Or if Jacoby Brissett is ass in Cleveland, send Garoppolo over there. But if Trey Lance does poorly, then you still have someone that has taken them all the way to the NFC Championship on your team that can probably do it again, given the fact that they are a well-structured team with a lot of good pieces, and any quarterback could do a pretty good job with them.
It's just crazy with teams like that, a little bit below average quarterback or average quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo can carry them so far. Just like imagine like a Tom Brady on that team or something. I guess like Tom Brady has had great teams like that around him. I don't know. It's just crazy to think how like even like a slightly above average quarterback would like take them so much farther, you know?
Yeah.
Because like Jimmy Garoppolo, not saying that he like blew the NFC Championship or anything, or that he was the main reason why they didn't like go to the Super. And didn't Jimmy take them to the Super Bowl too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to give Jimmy the credit of saying he took him to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Well, I meant like a part of the team.
In this past year, like, yeah, Jared Goff also went to the Super Bowl, but like, I'm just talking about in the past year.
yeah. But like even the past like few years to expand it a little bit. I meant like he was still on the team and like still like did enough right plays to like slide them into like, you know, NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. It would just be crazy to see like a slightly above average quarterback. Like they would probably have like 2 or 3 Super Bowls by now, you know? It's like, I guess it's kind of like the Chiefs or like the Brady dynasty, you know? Some
other quarterback news, Kellen Mond, who a lot of people said is like a Dak Prescott type quarterback. I think some reporter was like, this could be like a Dak Prescott, but no team is going to take him or something like that. Vikings ended up taking him eventually in that draft. And now he's gotten cut by the Vikings. So now he's on the free market. Probably one of the better backups in the league if we were just talking about like upside or just from the fact that he's young. And if you want like that Tom Brady-esque breakout from like someone that everyone's kind of like given up on. Well, I don't want to say given up on, but just like no one really took a chance on in the draft, that is. There he is. He's out there somewhere. Mm-hmm. If you're looking to get Sam Ellinger, you're going to have to trade. We're usually not a team to carry 3 quarterbacks, but in past years, just because of how weird our quarterback situations have been, we have done it. And I would say Sam Ellinger, and a lot of other people league-wide would say this, Sam Ellinger was like preseason MVP. He had amazing stats during the preseason. A lot of people were like, oh, he's QB2, demote Nick Foles. We don't even need him. You can cut him, make some room for younger guys in other positions. And Frank Reich was like, whoa, I love Nick Foles. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. Sam Ellinger is still 3rd on the depth chart, but he's 1st in our heart. Sorry, I had to. No, I love Matt Ryan.
All right.
No, I love Matt Ryan.
All right. Okay, I was going to praise Sam Ellinger, but now that you said that, he's trash.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's fine.
Sam Ellinger is trash. He deserves to be 4th man or practice squad kind of guy. I don't really see him improving much. There's not much of a system for him.
As far as improvement goes, if we're talking about improvement, if you look at his preseason stats from last year and compare him to this year, my oh my, like far better. People were like, why do we even draft this dude last year? He's like, this guy's trash. But then we kept him, and thank God Wentz didn't have an injury that took him out for too long, because we would have gone like 7-10, like probably 2 whole games off. I don't even know. it would have been bad with Sam Ellinger last year. But he made some real offseason improvements. And like someone did an article, I want to say it was like Stephen Holder or maybe it was Zach. One of the athletic guys for the Colts, they wrote an article about what specifically Ellinger did. And he literally, like, Ellinger studied the anatomy of his body and how he could improve his body, like, physiologically.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, a lot of players would just, like, go to, like, personal trainers and ask them about that. But, like, Sam Ellinger took the time and, like, studied that himself. And, like, he's, like, now a walking encyclopedia about that sort of shit. Which I think is really cool. Like, he knows he had to make some major improvements with the new quarterback room in order to stay on the roster, and he did it. So, good job, Sam.
Good job. Good job.
Away from quarterbacks, some people that have been injured and we're not sure what's going to go on with them. One of the Bills' best cornerbacks, Tre'Davious White, ended up staying on the reserve PUP list, which means he has to miss 4 games of the start of the season due to a torn ACL that he's been trying to come back from. People thought maybe he'd get off the list and would be able to start, maybe not week 1, but maybe week 2, week 3, but no, he has to miss 4 games. So that's going to really affect the Bills in their start of the season. They have a pretty easy schedule, so I don't think it'll like be that game changing, but it's still something worth noting. Given, I would say that's an area of their defense that doesn't have a lot of depth. I could be wrong. People may be like, no, you're fucking wrong. That's fine. Say what you will. I think it's pretty important, personally. Isn't he also like a Pro Bowler? Like, yeah, I think it's pretty important. Another Pro Bowler defenseman, Shaquille Leonard. A lot of you may know him as Darius Leonard. He was moved from the PUP list. A lot of people were like, oh, he might not even start like the first 6 games and shit like that. But now he has the chance to make it back week 1 after passing a physical. So that's some clarity on the Shaquille Leonard situation. Not as much as people would want, because the coaches, the general manager, have been very weird about how they phrase the whole Shaquille Leonard injury situation, but apparently he's fine. He had to get back surgery in June. Have I told you about this crazy situation that happened with him?
I think you brushed over it, but I vaguely remember it. But wait.
Oh, restart the camera? We're restarting the camera. See you in 2 seconds. Welcome back. Yeah, so Shaquille Leonard had like, I want to say like ankle or knee problems, like lower leg problems that he had been trying to work through all last season, which, by the way, he did a phenomenal job in making up for it because he was a top 20 player on the top 100 list, led the leagues in forced fumbles, etc. Because he knew he couldn't like run as fast anymore to like chase some tackles. So whenever they came to him, whenever they happened to be around him, I don't think anyone would want to come to him, but whenever he happened to be around someone, he made sure to make it count, because he knew he couldn't make up for it as far as coverage goes and other things like that. So he really worked on his forced fumbles, and it paid the dividends. Turnover king. He was working through his leg problems, but they were still prevalent towards the end of the season, and he was asking all these doctors, like, why? And like, it's actually because something in his back.
That's so weird.
A nerve in his back was affecting the connection to his leg, which, like, you wouldn't ever think of that. You would just like try to analyze the problem in the leg. You wouldn't think of like anywhere else in the body. But yeah, so he had to get back surgery in June because no one expected that to happen. He wanted to get surgery sooner, but they didn't have the answer until then. And so that's why his injury has been delayed, or like his recovery has been delayed so much.
You know what's crazy too? My dad had a similar thing too, where he had nerve damage from an accident or something. I forget how he had it, but it was nerve damage in his finger, and it went all the way up to his arm, and it affected his neck.
Shit.
Like he had like neck problems and stuff from it, just from like a finger like nerve damage pinch. And it's crazy how like far your nerves go, and like how crazy like nerves affect your body in that way. Like it's just weird.
It is weird.
But some of the other like notable like people that got cut, I know we're moving past it kind of, but Raiders offensive lineman Alex Leatherwood got cut. Josh Rosen from QB on the Browns got cut. Josh Johnson on the Broncos got cut. I didn't realize this, but Anthony Harris got cut on the Eagles. He's a safety for the Eagles. I thought he was going to at least stay. I thought he did really good last year. I don't know why we're cutting him.
That's probably because he got that new safety.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Carter Johnson. You had to
Yeah.
make room for that, I guess.
But even like a backup maybe or something. I don't know why we would cut Anthony.
Yeah, fair.
Buccaneers cut Logan Ryan. Buccaneers cut Tyler Johnson. We already talked about Philip Lindsay. That
Kellen
doesn't.
Mond.
OJ Howard got cut on the Bills. Josh Gordon got cut on the Chiefs. I didn't.
Damn.
Yeah.
The comeback did not. Oh, Sony Michel got cut?
Yeah, Sonny Michel got cut. Willie.
Okay, so that Dolphins running back room has been decreased. There's some clarity there for you fantasy owners of Dolphins running backs. Sorry to the Sony Michel owners. I was a Marlon Mack owner in another league. That was sad. But you may continue.
I was about to pick up Marlon Mack because like I just remember like you hyping it up. I'm like, that's too risky.
He could have been RB1 for the Texans, but then Dameon Pierce, a rookie, stood out. So and then they kept Rex Burkhead over Marlon Mack as running back too. So
fuck Rex Burkhead, another Patriot guy. But Willie Snead got cut on the 49ers. Duke Johnson got cut on the Bills. My boy Nathan Peterman, the best quarterback in the league, somehow got cut on the Bears. I don't know why.
Damn.
I don't know why you would cut someone who a couple years ago broke the record, 5 interceptions in the first half. I don't know why you would cut that guy. Probably one of the best guys in the league. I don't know why the Bears would cut him. I feel like he'd be QB number 1 over Justin Fields. Is that his name, right? Yeah, so I just don't even know why they would cut him. But yeah, that's just some of the other notables. I just wanted to do this quick speed run.
Yeah, good speed run, Caleb.
And I pronounced all the names right. Even though they're basic ass.
Basic names, honestly.
Basic names, but hey.
The people with interesting names stay on the teams. Everyone knows that.
Yes.
If it was up to like me remaining on the team, I'd stay. If it was up to Trey Tyler, sorry Trey.
I think I would stay too, just for Leonza.
Yeah, I think Leonza's pretty good. That's why I didn't come at you. But
Leonza and Oldham. I feel like those are pretty rare names.
Pretty good duo.
Yeah.
Now we will get into our predictions for the awards season, MVP, etc. Maybe we should start bottom and go up. Work our way up to MVP. You know?
I like that.
Instead of last year, we went from MVP, which was like, whoa, and then we went to coach at the end. It's like, that's anticlimactic.
That's boring.
Let's start with coach of the year, huh?
You want to start or you want me to start for coach?
You have to start, so there's no bias.
Oh, yeah.
Mine are already there, you know?
Yeah.
You forgot how this works.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
A little bit.
Guess I'm a silly goose.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, the way this works is we pick our candidate for coach of the year. That is our main pick. All right. But then we also have a sleeper pick, an alternate, a stretch that has to be outside of the top 10 in odds. We use Vegas Insider. It's just like the first one that popped up. And it seemed legit. So, and it had rankings for all of them. And they have to be outside of the top 10 in odds. That's our sleeper pick. And if we get either of them right, we get a point. And then at the end of the year, we're like, oh shit, we were right. Or we weren't right. And oh, I had more right than you. And last year, I don't know if, what did we have? Like, we had like one right maybe.
Yeah.
Between the two.
I honestly forget.
It's hard. It's hard.
Bro, I was going to pick Dan Campbell, but I fucking can't pick that guy.
That'd be interesting.
Bro, I want Dan Campbell to win. I'm not gonna pick him.
Gamble?
Can Gamble? I want Dan Campbell to win, but I think I'm going to have to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn it.
Yeah, your stretch can't be Nick Sirianni. Sorry, man.
Damn it. Yeah, Frank Reich sucks.
What the fuck? It's like, don't Florida down there. Like he's saying Frank Reich. Like
that's payback from Nick Foles. That was only payback.
Just
for Nick
because
Foles.
he's expected to do well. The coach of the year is when a team is like kind of iffy.
Yeah.
Like if they may not be expected to do as well as they are.
I'm going to have Todd Boyles as my sleeper alternative. Todd Boyles.
You want me to type it or?
I got it.
I think it's just Bulls.
Bulls. I don't even know if okay. And then
nice.
And then my main guy is gonna be. Hold on, I'm thinking.
There's only 32 of them.
I want you to pick Frank Reich.
You're gonna pick Frank Reich, who's also outside of the top 10 in odds, so he's kind of doing sleepers for both. But that's your main.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Why do you say Frank Reich, the Colts coach, huh?
I like Frank Reich. You know
Not Nick Sirianni?
I thought we had to keep outside of the top 10.
For your stretch pick, but your main pick. I explained this, sir.
I don't know. I like sleeper picks, and I don't know. I feel like he has a lot of intangibles there that if he just needs a couple of things to click. He just needs like a couple of things to click.
Click a little.
Yeah. And it's not. It's literally just like one catch, and like one key catch for a touchdown, or like
Right.
well, a couple of those play that like wins them the.
If we beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville, Frank Reich, coach of the year.
Yes.
Like, that's it. Doesn't matter if we lose the rest of the games.
But yeah, those are my two. I just think that Frank Wright has like the most pieces. He didn't make the Colts didn't make the playoffs last year, so like
It's true.
there's a lot of room for improvement there. So like if he can do really well and be like what 12-5, 13-4, if he can be that record and make a deep run into the playoffs. I know playoffs aren't accountable. Take too much account into this award, but I think he got the intangibles there.
It's kind of like I don't think it depends on your playoff performance, but your seeding definitely takes into account. Like I feel like a lot of the times the coach of the year happen to have like a first seed, but then there's also some times where that's not the case. Like with the Browns making the playoffs, that was a big deal, so they gave it to the Browns coach. Who's it? Stefanski? It's not Stefanski. Am I wrong?
I have no idea. Jordan Love is on this list. The hell? Jordan Love is on the list of comeback player of the year. He didn't even play last year. What do you mean?
Exactly. That's why he would be a comeback player of the year.
I guess that makes sense.
He also did play. He played one bad game. So
fuck Jordan Love. Okay.
All right. So before we get into the comeback, I have to do my picks.
Yeah.
I
got distracted.
My stretch outside of the top 10, Sean McDermott. The Bills are expected to do well, but I think he may do so well that they just have to give him the award. I think they could go like 13-4 or even better, but that's my prediction for them. Like 13-4 is a pretty sizable record for them that I think you would have to recognize him as one of the coaches of the year, at least like a nominee or something like that. But yeah, that's my guy, just because Bills I expect to have the best regular season overall, and there may be some hurdles he has to overcome in order to get there. Tre'Davious White, for example, maybe coaches the hell out of that backfield to get him off to like 8 interceptions in those first 4 games. I think it's like, Tre'Davious White, we don't even need you. We'll see what happens.
I think that's gonna be the case.
Yeah.
Can I guess? Can I get one guess? Is it gonna be Frank Wright?
Oh, you want to guess my main pick for coach of the year?
Is it Frank Wright?
No,
Oh.
it's Nick Sirianni. We pick each other's coaches.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, let's go.
That's pretty cute.
I picked Nick Sirianni because I'm not going to say they're not expected to do well, but as far as record goes, they have the greatest record last year, right? They did well, but they kind of just snuck into the playoffs. Let's be honest. And then they didn't have a great playoff performance. They just kind of snuck in there. And a lot of people, a lot of people were thinking like, okay, Nick Sirianni could be coach of the year this year. He didn't end up getting it. But I think this year they have the pieces to really just take a large next step. I think they could even like have the chance to be like a top 3 seed overall, and not just by like, and not in the case where it's like, oh, just because they won the division they're in the top 4 seeds, but they actually have like a subpar record. Like I actually think they could have a top 3 record in the NFC if he ends up with like a 2 or 1 seed and like completely like annihilates the Cowboys from the NFC East discussion, or like does really well against any of the other contenders in the NFC. I think that'd be huge, because a lot of people were really down about him in the first year and he overcame the expectations with the running game. But if he can start to turn Jalen Hurts into an MVP contender as well with the pieces he put around him now, I think you'd have to get him there. I think you'd have to.
Both of our head coaches are in similar positions. A lot of potential. Maybe not like the same pieces, but I guess there's like potential rise. Like they kind of...
The Frank Reich tree is so good.
You know where Frank Reich came from?
No. We're not going to talk about it because he's on the Jaguars now. Comeback player of the year. Who's your stretch?
My stretch comeback player?
Yeah.
And when I say Gardner Minshew, no, I'm just joking.
Gross.
My stretch probably would be Julio Jones. I want to say Julio Jones.
Okay.
Just because with Tom Brady, and I don't know, he has a lot of proof. I think this is his revenge tour. because like he got
Yeah.
with the Titans in the last couple of years with the Falcons. Like I was looking up the top 100 and last like decade, and he was like 2017, 2018, like in the top 5 for like best player of the year,
For sure.
like best players, top 100. So I'm like, he's definitely going to be like, I don't know, he a lot of vengeance.
Yeah, I think last year there's a lot of hype around him joining the Titans, and then he had some good games, but mainly out due to injury, so a lot of people called him a bust. So I think he has reason to like really want to take the next step, but it's gonna be a hard wide receiver room to make a big impression on because you already have Chris Godwin. He is returning from injury, I guess. Mike Evans, Scotty Miller is still there, I believe, and the guy from the Falcons that is now on that team as well. There's a Russell Gage. I think there's a lot of wide receivers overall is what I'm trying to say that will fill up that wide receiver room and be competitive for receptions. And so it'll be hard for like Julio Jones to have as big of a season to make a comeback. So
Yeah.
but we'll see.
But my comeback player of the year is Michael Thomas, baby. You know why? Because of Jameis Winston.
What?
Jameis Winston. I feel like he's number 2 on the spot, or he has the second highest odds to win comeback player of the year. I don't think he's going to play well enough to win comeback player of the year, but I think he's going to do really good and elevate like his team to the next level, in which
He's gonna make Michael Thomas look good.
yeah, he's going to play good enough to make Michael Thomas look good. Got Michael Thomas on my fantasy team
That's right. You've been big on Michael Thomas
the last couple of
this
years,
offseason.
and I just want Michael Thomas to do good because I drafted him last year, and he was out.
pride.
It's about pride, and he was out all year. I didn't get to use him, so yeah, that's the reasoning.
All right, so my stretch for comeback player of the year,
Nick
Marcus
Foles.
Mariota.
Yo, I was gonna pick him. Why do you have Marcus Mariota?
Because if this dude manages to keep the starter spot through the entire season with as bad as a roster as that is, Calvin Ridley suspended, a lot of the pieces are gone. You just have Kyle Pitts and Cordarrelle Patterson really to like help you elevate. And that O-line's garbage. Thank God Matt Ryan got out of there. Otherwise, he may have died this season. If he manages to just keep his starting spot, he deserves to be a nominee. Because they already have a replacement ready for him in their back pocket. They're like, what is his name from Cincinnati, Desmond Ridder. In their back pocket, they're like, if you don't do well, we will replace you. Like we are ready to do so. We are ready to give this guy some snaps so it can take our team to the next level in future years. We want to play the long game here, but you're just here to look pretty, all right? But if he happens to make a case to stay the starter through the whole season and actually like makes Kyle Pitts look the way everyone thinks Kyle Pitts is supposed to look, or keeps Cordarrelle Patterson productive through the whole season. You know, he started off well, but then kind of declined through the season. Either of those cases, or maybe he turns like a wide receiver into like a really good, solid prospect. You know, that maybe people are like dismissing that wide receiver room, but it's possible that he helps elevate them and turns them into a name themselves. I think there's a lot of chances where Mariota could actually succeed just from how down bad they are. Just like any success that comes out of there will be a surprise and will help his campaign for comeback player of the year overall. I'm sure you agree with that.
I agree.
Nice.
Drake London.
Yes, Drake London is there. Of course, he's a great wide receiver.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a smaller piece or one of the bigger pieces that's going to help Marcus Mariota out without offense. And yeah, I just agree with you. If he's able to stay healthy and stay throughout the entire season and have a little bit above average stats, I feel like make a good case.
I think he could too. The comeback player of the year of my choice, though, my main pick, is Christian McCaffrey. Just because if he manages to do what everyone thinks he's going to do, which is like be the best running back in fantasy wise, number one, and also just be like the same Christian McCaffrey he was before with the Panthers, just like all purpose yardage, just like through the roof. He doesn't even have to be like the best in any single stat category, but if he can get up there and stay healthy. That's really all he has to do is stay healthy through the season. I think he could end up taking comeback player of the year because I think the Panthers are going to need a lot of help. They have all right pieces, but they're going to need Christian McCaffrey to be healthy to do anything. So if they manage just to even have a winning record, give it to Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I doubt anyone else is going to be elevating him.
And we've seen last year too. He played one game. He was able to play one game maybe, and he had 34 fantasy points just off of that one game. And you're probably like, why are you using fantasy points as a gauge? Because if you get a lot of fantasy points, that means that you're very productive. And like the couple of games that he was playing last year, he was very productive. So I don't think there's going to be any lack of production on his side.
Yep.
And he's a fan favorite too, so that's probably going to give
all right.
a lot of leeway.
So your defensive rookie of the year, stretch pick, your sleeper, outside of the top 10 odds, who you got? There's a lot of good ones, I think. The rookie odds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was so confused. I was like, wait a second. I'm wearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So we're figuring it out.
All right. I got my two.
Already.
Yeah. So my there, and then hold on. That is. Yeah, get this.
That worked out. That's so funny.
So my stretch is Nakobe Dean. He's in the 11th spot, so I can choose him. He's right out of the top 10. And I mistakenly called him Nakobe Bean during the draft video. I explained this on my recent Eagles update, but I've just been calling him Bean ever since then because I like the Bean, and I hope that he likes it. I hope he accepts and likes the name Bean because I want to. That's just the nickname.
I wouldn't.
But I'm just going to keep calling him Bean until he tells me to stop. And
he doesn't know you, bro.
He will eventually. I just think he has a lot of potential because our linebacker core is very weak. Well, not very weak. We have Hassan Reddick that we just added on to, so he can learn from that veteran. But other than Hassan Reddick, we don't have anyone. So he has a lot of he has a lot of room to prove himself and prove that that he should have been taken second in the second round, or in the first round. And he fell all the way to us. And I just think that there's a lot of potential in just his preseason games. How Jordan Davis and him played together during the preseason. I just feel like they're going to feed off that energy and just build each other up. Foreshadowing as in Jordan Davis is my defensive rookie of the year, #1 pick, and he's in the top 10. So, he has good odds.
You did it.
He has good odds, and he's just a beast. Like, he's freaking like 8 feet, like 400 pounds. Like, he's literally a walking wall. Like, no one's going to be able to get past him, or no one's going to be able to stop him from getting to the quarterback. I just don't see how anyone's going to stop that guy.
A little thing called Quentin Nelson.
Yeah. Well, Jordan Davis is going to fucking pancake him.
No.
Jordan Davis is going to pancake Quentin Nelson while getting a strip sack, getting up and scoring a touchdown, and rubbing in the face of Nelson.
The only person in the league that I can confidently say will, like, that beats Quentin Nelson is Aaron Donald. Of course. Aaron Donald. You're waiting.
Yeah.
Because even DeForest Buckner in practice has admitted that dude's crazy. So as far as interior D lineman goes, when the Colts and Eagles play, that'll be a fun matchup. It really will. It'll be a welcome to the league sort of moment for my stretch defensive rookie of the year is a Colts guy named Nick Cross. I was memeing on Caleb earlier about his safety from the Eagles that is now on the Colts, but is not even starting. And that's because there's a rookie from the 3rd round, I believe is the 3rd round, that has been making some headlines.
Bro, he's not even on the list.
I know.
That's a big time sleeper there.
Damn. I'm sleeper, dude.
Damn.
He's been making some headlines in the Colts news cycle, I guess you could say, from the beat writers as just being a crazy athletic and dominant safety that is good in coverage, but he can also like come in, swoop in, force a fumble, make the tackles, all that. And he's already starting. He's already as a starter on the depth chart. As a third rounder safety, that's pretty good. You know, we have a lot of veterans that could instead take his place at least to start the year, but already he's been making that claim on that spot. And I think with how good the defense is overall, we lead the league in takeovers and all that. I think he'll be really effective and he'll have a chance to really shine there. Nick Cross, I got you, man. But as far as my main pick, just someone who I think who's like deserves to have high odds to take this award, Kayvon Thibodeau. Would you like to react?
Who is that?
You don't know who Kayvon is? He's on the Giants.
Dude, I could care less about the Giants, bro.
I don't know. We did the whole draft thing, and then there's the kid. You remember the kid who wants to be like a reporter? He got all excited about like being able to announce the pick, and he was like, "Oh my god, we got Thibodeau!"
Oh yeah.
You know,
bro, I was more focused on the kid than the person he actually picked.
He was originally projected to be the first overall pick to start the last season of college football, but then he had sort of a meh season with the Ducks. I mean, the Ducks weren't like that great anyways, so that's why he kind of fell. And then maybe there was also some like combine things that happened, but overall I think he's had a great off season. Looked pretty good in preseason. He did have a little injury scare for a second, but I think he'll overcome that. I think it's kind of like Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Who a lot of people like initially said like, oh, this guy's amazing, we have to take him early, but then there were some issues through the year, and then leading up to the draft he kind of fell. Cowboys took a chance on him, and then everyone was like, oh shit, he was exactly what we initially thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think it'll be a similar story there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, who's your stretch?
I just want to say before I pick I don't know that many offensive players. It's kind of a shot in the dark, more of a shot of the dark than anything when I do pick these. But my alternative is Jameson Williams, just because Jameson.
No, not Misson. It's Jameson. Straight through. You're saying Misson.
Jameson.
No, not Jameson. Jameson.
Jameson.
Yeah.
Okay. Williams, yeah, he was picked right before the Eagles, and I personally thought that the Eagles were going for their third year in a row of picking a wide receiver, so I was like, I was kind of sad that we didn't get him, but I'm more glad that we picked Jordan Davis now. But I just think that he's going to shine on the Lions, and because he's with Brown and stuff, I think he's going to overshadow Brown a little bit. Still a little bit of a sleeper just because of Jared Goff being their quarterback. But I just like how he moves and how fast he is down the line.
I think that's a good pick, because I think the only reason he's so low on the odds is because he's coming back from injury, so we don't know when he'll start. But he's like one of the better wide receivers in that draft class. It was literally just the injury that kind of tanked his draft value, but people still took a chance on him still in the first round. Well, the Lions did, that is. I think that's a good pick. Yeah, I think if he like dominates, no matter when he comes back, you won't have to really. There won't be a question about it unless there's someone who's dominated from the beginning, maybe. But if it's kind of like a shaky campaign all around, then give it to the guy who's just dominated in his showings. I think that makes sense.
I think he's going to get at least like 1,000 yards receiving.
Damn.
And then my offensive rookie of the year is Drake London. It's because one, I have him in fantasy and I really want him to do well, and two, he has Marcus Mariota, and you have him as the stretch for the comeback player of the year. And I think
there's a reason I said stretch, by the way.
Well, yeah, but like
I'm joking.
He's still going to be like mediocre, and Drake London just needs a mediocre quarterback. Like,
oh, you think?
Yeah, like I feel like
good, huh?
I feel like he can still, like, there's been multiple times throughout like years where it's like a receiver pops off with like a mediocre like quarterback.
Chase.
Yeah, no. I honestly
Justin
don't
Jefferson,
care.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson. But yeah, I just think he has a lot of potential, and I feel like Drake London is going to be one of their only targets next to Kyle Pitts. And I think he's just going to be getting the ball thrown to him, so he's going to be getting a lot of targets and a lot of receiving, kind of like Jamar.
Oh fuck! Restart camera. Restart.
I just want to finish my thought. I just think it's going to be similar to Jamar Chase, where he's just getting the ball thrown to him every single second.
Yep.
But yeah, that's why I picked Drake London, Jamison
Williams.
Jameis Williams. I don't know why I can't pronounce his name for my life, but
It's pretty. It's just like James, and then Son. If you just dissect it like that,
Mhm.
Jameson.
But yeah, it's this is my second time picking receivers because I picked or both receivers in both the stretch and my main pick because I picked comeback player of the year with Michael Thomas and Julio Jones. So
Nice.
pretty pressed on wide receivers.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, my stretch. Alec Pierce, another Colts guy. As far as like rookies go, I'm okay with like having the stretches be Colts guys. I'm not so high on that as far as like MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, because they always get snubbed. So, but as far as like rookies, I'm like, yeah, I think if they have a good enough performance, like it's hard to ignore. Like Darius Leonard, for example, was Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I'm fine with that. Alec Pierce is a wide receiver that a lot of people have been sleeping on. He was taken in the second round in a really good wide receiver draft class. So I think he's in one of the better positions. Like he's a wide receiver 2 basically already. And he has Matt Ryan, and you already have like a pretty productive offense, I think. And I feel like all the wide receivers behind him are kind of not making a good case for themselves as remaining in future years. I think it's like Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce are the only ones that like we're sure about being like really good Colts guys. So like moving forward after this season, that is. So I think that would be important. Like if he matches or even just does a little bit less than Michael Pittman production, give him the fucking trophy, dude. Like, I think that is huge for a guy coming from the second round on a team that is being competitive for the playoffs. So, it's not just like meaningless, like that matters for the team. Yeah, help elevate that wide receiver room already. And he's got Reggie Wayne as a wide receiver coach. So, he's going to be taught well. Offensive Rookie of the Year, main candidate is Breece Hall. He's in one of my dynasty leagues. I managed to trade for the first overall pick because I'm crazy like that.
You have like is that the one where you have so many like first round picks, or is that your basketball?
It is. I have a lot of first round picks because I'm kind of not tanking, but like I'm kind of just like sitting back this first year since it's my first time doing dynasty. So I'm just like, I'm getting some good like young players and letting them develop. I'm not worried about competing for the trophy too much this year, and hopefully I'll be really active in the waivers to like keep my team afloat. And who knows, maybe I will win. I think I still have a really good team. I got Devontae Adams, for example. I'm not terrible. I also got Kyle Pitts and George Kittle. People are gonna want to come to me if they struggle with tight ends through the season because I also have Gesicki as well. Like I got the whole layout of the tight end room. So if anyone ever struggles with tight ends, they'll have to come to me. But that's besides the point. Breece Hall, Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's my pick. He has a really good chance with the Jets just because if, for example, Zach Wilson sucks or if the wide receivers suck, they got to give the ball to someone. And I don't think that Michael Carter is the guy over there in New York. I think he was good for last season, but Breece Hall looks like a Jonathan Taylor type. And I don't say that lightly. Jonathan Taylor's my boy. I think he's a generational talent that is really hard to compare to, but Breece Hall, I think he could do it. I
agree. My moving on to defensive player of the year, I have Bradley Chubb because I think that Broncos defense is scary, and I feel like they're going to be a team on the top of the AFC. And I think it's going to be a big reason for that is because of that defense. And I think that, I don't know, I just think Bradley Chubb is going to be the lead of that. He's going to be leading that all defense. And I feel like he may not have the best of odds, but that's why he's a stretch. And then I have Nick Bosa because that Niners defense is just electric. And I feel like he's going to be leading one of the best defenses in the entire league. I think it's like a Aaron Donald situation where Aaron Donald is leading one of the best defenses in the league, and I just feel like if you're the best player on one of the best defenses in the league, I feel like that's saying something. And if you're leading the team and if you're a leader of that team, I feel like I feel like you have pretty good chances of becoming the defensive player of the year. And I think Nick Bosa is that. I think he can lead one of the best defensive teams in the league in the 49ers. And yeah, so that's why I picked Bradley Chubb and Nick Bosa.
Yeah, I think those are good guys. I think Nick Bosa is like someone that has been kind of, I don't know, people don't talk about him enough, I feel like. You know what I mean? Maybe that's both Bosas. I think either of them, actually, Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa, could make a claim, because I think they're both on teams that need that guy this season now more than ever to like really elevate on the defensive end. So we'll see though. My alt for defensive player of the year, which I guess could also be a comeback player of the year if I already think he's like good enough to be my alt here, but it's Chase Young, coming back from injury, of course, but he had a great rookie season. And I think with the way the Commanders are headed, I think they have a new D-line coach now. I think he could really shine. I think people have honestly just forgotten about him. Mm-hmm. And like that first rookie season, people were calling him a phenom, but ever since his injury, it's just like, oh, we forgot. Because he's also on the Commanders and fuck them, right?
Yeah.
So, defensive player of the year, though, Myles Garrett, because he's that guy. Nothing more to say. He's like, what, the top in the odds anyways. Like, if you know, you know. Like, Myles Garrett, yeah. And they're going to need defensive prowess this first stretch of the season, because you know we're not going to get on the offensive side. So, your turn for offensive player of the year. Moving on.
So my stretch is Jalen Hurts, and you're going to be. This is going to make more sense in the next kind of category that we do. Why I have him in a stretch and not number one, or not my offensive player. Yeah, I just think Jalen Hurts has a lot of room to shine, and I think that he's going to just explode this year because one of his main issues that everyone is saying is his accuracy. And I think he's going to surprise the league. And it's just that shockment of, we don't really know. We still have that little uncertainty if he's going to fix that accuracy, if he's definitely fixed that out of his system, got that out of the system. So it's a little bit of that suspense of, we've seen some preseason action. We've seen some training camp action of him. He's looking good. He's looking decent. But we don't really know for certain. It's not 100%. Until we see the real game. So I think that little hidden of suspense, little of unknown about Jalen Hurts is going to be the reason why it's going to elevate him. And I think he's just going to explode into the league. And then offensive player of the year is your boy, Jonathan Taylor, number 28, same birthday as me. Yeah, obvious reasons. He's Jonathan Taylor. He's getting compared to the GOATs. And I really don't need to go in depth into this because it's like such obvious reasons. He's great in receiving. He's great. He almost had 2,000 yards last year in rushing, and it's just crazy. He's just, like you said earlier, a generational talent.
I don't want him to get offensive player of the year.
You think it would be a downfall if he does?
I think it would speak badly on our team if he has a campaign for offensive player of the year. Because when you think about last year, why he had to take as many carries as he got and why he had to elevate the team he did is because that motherfucker was so bad. So I want Matt Ryan to do well. I want our passing offense all around, like spreading the ball, to be really good. And I don't want to have to rush as much because that's scary for Jonathan Taylor. I don't want him to get injured either. And so, yeah, I think it speaks poorly on a team when a running back ends up having that campaign, which sucks because like you want to give a running back their flowers overall, but if he can do it in a way where it's just like he has the craziest efficiency, like 8 yards per carry, fine by me. He can be offensive player of the year then. You'd have to give it to him then. But if it's in the same way he got it last year, that would scare me.
I just think he's going to have that efficiency.
You think he's going to have 8 yards?
Yeah, maybe not like to that extent, but he's going to have like a good efficiency.
Yeah, I think in this league anyways, like it's easier to give it to a wide receiver though, because like I think it speaks well for a team when a wide receiver does really well, as we saw last year, of course. Cooper, he got the Super Bowl. He was Super Bowl MVP as well. So
yeah, I just wanted to state the reason why I closed my laptop is because my laptop is about to die. So and I remember my next 2 picks. So
nice. Well, I got Najee Harris as my stretch. I don't know why he was so low. I mean, the Steelers are going to struggle as far as passing attack this first season with Kenny Pickett. I think eventually he will bloom. But right now, you just got to depend on that good old running back you have that was making the league go crazy with his cool stiff arms and hurdles and all that, you know. I think Najee Harris has the chance to really have the same like volume as previous Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry-esque seasons, you know, where they were campaigning for Offensive Player of the Year. I think he could have that given how bad I think the Steelers will be in their initial passing offense, at least the start of the year, you know. And Najee Harris is also a really good receiving back, so even if they do well, I think he could still stand out. Offensive Player of the Year, though, my main pick, Justin Jefferson. I think he's the best wide receiver in the year of 2022. I think he's the best wide receiver this year. Just because I don't feel like Adam Thielen is super amazing and will take away his receptions in the same way that, like, on the other side, the other person who I think is, like, the best wide receiver of this year, Devontae Adams. I think you already have Darren Waller. You have, what's his name? I was going to say Hunter Renfrow. I was going to say Henry Ruggs. And I was like, no, that's not his name.
He's in prison?
Yeah. We're talking about Hunter Renfrow. I think Devontae Adams will be a type of receiver that won't get the same volume as Justin Jefferson will, but he'll be very efficient, I think, on the Raiders side. But on the Vikings side, I think they need Justin Jefferson to pop off. And Adam Thielen's good enough to take defenses away from Justin Jefferson some of the time. I think he could really pop off, is all I'm trying to say. That is if Dalvin Cook doesn't also pop off and then they just focus on rushing. It depends. I think it really could. It's hard to really predict these sort of things, but I think Justin Jefferson is just that guy overall.
I agree. All right, we have to speed run the MVP because my battery's about to die. Or the battery is about to die in the camera.
Gotcha. So MVP, your stretch?
My stretch is Joe Burrow because he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's going to prove the haters wrong. Not that he had any haters, but I just think he's going to explode from next year or from last year. He's going to take another step up from last year and just improve that much more, especially with electrifying offense. My MVP of this year, and this is why I put Jalen Hurts as a stretch and offensive player of the year, is because I think Jalen Hurts is going to win the MVP this year for the same exact reasons that I listed on the offensive player of the year. But I just think he's going to explode, and I just think he's going to take it to the MVP level.
Nice. My stretch is Jalen Hurts.
Nice.
Wait, is he actually outside the top 10? I'm actually surprised by that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, Joe Burrow's not outside the top 10. You dummy.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So anyone past Kyler Murray.
I just love how I don't know if you were trying or not, but your cursor just like landed on Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, it did? I did not notice that, actually.
I'm going to I forgot about the rule, but I'm going to pick.
Honestly, you just want to switch the rules.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, MVP.
MVP. No, stretch. That's my stretch.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
If you think you have Jonathan Taylor Offensive Player of the Year, but Derrick Henry stretch MVP. All right, whatever. I have Jalen Hurts MVP outside the top 10, which I think is actually surprising. I think he should be top 10. I think just the way they've set him up, you know? I mean, we will know what the issue is with the Eagles this season if it really is a quarterback problem, because he has no excuse other than to just do well. You know what I mean?
I agree.
If he does poorly, that's all him, in my opinion. But my MVP is Josh Allen because I think he'll also have the best record. Because let's be honest, you can't be MVP if you don't have the wins as well.
Yeah,
that was something that a lot of people had against Jonathan Taylor because we ended up going 9 wins as well. A lot of people were even like one year with like Deshaun Watson, like, oh, he was just like a really great quarterback. That one year they went like 4-12, but everyone was like, well, they went 4-12, so he can't be MVP. But you know, I think he was a runner up for offensive player of the year that year.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
But Josh Allen, I think. Do I have to explain?
No.
I don't have to explain.
You don't have to explain to me.
They're going to win a lot. He's going to pass a lot because they don't really rush much anyway. So yeah, that's all.
So is that it?
Easy schedule as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all. We can save the other prediction for next week since we don't really have much to do next week anyways.
Yeah. Wait, what was the one category that we missed? That we didn't go over. I forget.
No, we did all these categories.
No, I meant
it was going over like adjusting our team
Oh, yeah.
predictions.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
You can do that next week.
Yeah. So what's the plan for next week?
The plan for next week, please tune in. It'll be huge. We are going to go over our team final record predictions for this upcoming season and also predict their week 1 matchups and who will win. Because we're that close to football, we get to do that now.
Yes.
Next week is when we'll finally discuss who's going to win that Thursday night game between the Rams and the Bills, is it?
Yeah.
I think it is. I didn't put it there yet. I'm pretty sure it is. Stay tuned. It'll be great.
Yes, sir. And we're going to be Can we go over the top 100?
Sure. If we have time.
Yeah.